Welcome, listeners.
Welcome, listeners. Welcome, people who are talking through us.
Interrupters?
Yeah. Let's say someone's listening and then someone else is walking through the room and starts a conversation when somebody's listening to a podcast. Welcome to that person. Hi.
I say that just means welcome to everyone. This is an inclusive operation.
Listeners and talkers alike. I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
I'm Janie Haddad Tompkins.
We are a married couple.
He's a comedian.
She's an actor.
We live together in Los Angeles, and we only go out sometimes because of the pandemic.
Yes, also because my real name is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, and Janie's name is my name too. And whenever we go out, the people always shout,
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Ba la 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 la.
What? I don't get it. Why is his name my name too? Why?
I mean, that's beyond a coincidence. Unless it's a father and son situation.
You know what? Socialism.
What? Everyone has the same name? This is what
Beware.
This is what life is going to be like under socialism. Everyone gets one name.
Yeah.
Boy name and girl name.
We had to start early tonight a little bit because I needed my weekend water.
Yes, it's been quite a week. It's been
17 hours and 6.
No, honey, that's so good. Here's what's so wonderful. Is that
is not how the song goes.
No. I was doing the Bare Naked Ladies.
What?
It's been 1 week and you're on me, which is like a running joke on Comedy Bang Bang, right?
Okay.
But then you thought of a new It's Been that I totally forgot about.
Wait, also, by the by, right, the listeners don't know this, but right before we started, this was going to be one of my recommendations.
It got bumped up in the queue. Top of show.
I like this country, this little country.
I like this country too. And I don't want to see it destroyed by the likes of Joe Biden and his socialist gangs.
Because we'll all be named John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Under a Biden presidency, your name will be his name too.
No, I was playing.
Whenever you go out.
No, I was playing. I like this country girl. This little country girl. She's kind of pop country. Her name's Maren Morris. She's a big time award winner girl. And she put out this song that was like a Black Lives Matter song. So I was like playing it for Paul because I was like, isn't this awesome? It's so like good. It's like a protest song and blah, blah, blah. And then after I turned it off, you started singing a different song, which was what? I forgot
the song Iris from Goo Goo Dolls got stuck on my head because there's a similar.
Well, what was that song? How's that one go?
Oh
yeah. He was like saying it sounded like the new Maren Morris song, and I was like, well, the new Maren Morris song is better than that song.
Guess what? I did not say that. I didn't even realize that was happening. You played a little bit of the song for me, and then like a half hour later, the Goo Goo Dolls song was in my head, and you said, "Why are you singing that song?" And then we pieced it together. I made no judgments.
Okay, fine. Okay. First of all, we need to get a little bit of podcast business out the way.
Oh, okay. We're going to do this now.
Well, don't you want to? Aren't you excited?
Well, sure I am, of course. I just thought we were doing it later.
We're going to reiterate it later.
Good plan.
So, okay, we have a very exciting development for fans of the pod.
You're pregnant. We made you all pregnant.
You're pregnant.
Talk about a gender reveal party. You're pregnant.
You're pregnant with new stayfhomekins merch.
We're gonna have merch.
We have entered an incredible, fun collaboration.
This is collaboration, and I won't stand for it.
It's a fun little collab with a wonderful artisan in Charleston, West Virginia, my homeland. I was born
That's
there.
where she was born, y'all.
Born right around the corner from there. And even though I was raised in South Carolina.
Right around the corner from there.
Well, the Charleston Hospital or Memorial Hospital, that's where I was born.
But you were born around the corner from where? From
their shop. I don't know.
Oh, from the... Wait, what? Okay. Fix us in
Who's
space.
pregnant?
Where, sorry, that's my pregnancy brain. Where, when you said you were born around the corner from there, you meant the shop.
Yeah, the artisans, Dan and Hillary, own this amazing shop. They're fans of the show, but spoiler alert, we are fans of them.
That's right. Name of the shop?
Kinship Goods.
Mm-hmm.
Kinship Goods. Go bookmark it. Bookmark the website, kinshipgoods.com. They have a Twitter. They also have an Instagram. We'll be tagging them in our posts tonight.
Look, they got Kins in their name. We got Kins in our name.
Oh, my God, Kins.
Right?
stayfhomekins.com.
stayfhomekins.com.
Okay, so...
but don't go there. Nothing will happen.
So already, Dan and Hill...
We've already confused this. Plug.
Just go to kinshipgoods.com.
Yeah, they have great stuff.
They have amazing stuff. You're going to love their shop. Now,
You're gonna like the way you look.
Paul guarantees it.
I guarantee it.
And, okay, here's the deal.
He sounds like... I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll come back to it. I was going to say...
We're not doing well tonight. We're very punchy.
You know what? I think we're doing great. The Men's Warehouse guy, in my memory, sounds to me like Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Which one was he?
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee.
Oh, my God, he does sound like him.
I bought my granddaughter a new suit for a wedding.
Okay. All right, let's get back to the merch. Here, they will be starting to be featuring Stay of Homekins specific merchandise on their site. Already, amazing designs are available.
Yes.
There's going to be a Piggly Wiggly, y'all. Them girls going to get up into some trouble at the Piggly Wiggly. And that's going to be featured on a T-shirt and a sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be a sticker that is a parody of the old Andre the Giant Has a Posse sticker that is in that style, except it's Casey Kasem, the original ASMR.
Yes, and it's an amazing sticker.
It's so good.
It's a great parody. And this was a bonus. They designed some face masks during the pandemic that say...
Janie's old catchphrase from early on.
Which was...
Clean hands, full mask,
can't lose.
Yeah.
That's from Friday Night Lights, but I modified it for COVID.
It's another parody. We're trying to have fun here.
Anyway, these are all references from the podcast.
Yeah.
And you can find it on their website. I can't wait to see what they come up with because I think more stuff is probably going to come out of their creative brains and but also look at all the other stuff. What's neat about their shop is their whole vibe of the shop is it's like a stay cozy kind of thing about like nesting, and here we are sort of like in our great national nesting where we want to wear like soft things, and they make really high quality t-shirts. What's fun about this is that
Joe Biden wants you to nest. I say you are not a bird.
John Jacob Jingleheimer. So what is funny is I'd already had some of their t-shirts because I think Rhea was it Rhea or someone I saw her.
I bet it was Rhea because they have people in West Virginia as well.
Yes, and the t-shirt they had on, I think, or I saw it on someone else's Instagram. It said West Virginia versus the world, and this was like perfect for my brother. So I got that for my brother for Christmas, and it was like a huge hit. But then my cousin came out to visit, and then he sent us some shirts from Kinship Goods, and now I wear the Wild Wonderful West Virginia. So there's a lot of
It's a great shirt. It's beautiful.
It's a great shirt, but like there's a lot of West Virginia specific stuff, but there's also not.
Yeah,
they're
terrific.
They're great.
Check them out. They have great stuff. We're thrilled to be doing something
exciting.
with them.
So this is so exciting for us.
The y'all shirt is amazing.
I want the sweatshirt so bad.
Yeah, it's really really good. It's really good. You'll like it. So
okay, so that was our big podcast business. We have now
And
shuffled.
we will see you next week.
So the big news, in my opinion, this week was...
Okay.
Do you know where I'm going?
We'll give our opinions of what we think the big news was.
I personally, this week was one of those crazy news weeks that have been a relentless onslaught.
It's fucking nuts, everything that happened this week.
Like, just today.
Yeah.
Like, today.
Mm-hmm. But you're a candidate for the biggest news story.
I thought the biggest news story was the president's tax returns.
Yeah.
That's where I have been coming from all week.
Hey, you want to know? Here's where I come from. Around the corner from the hospital.
I was born near that Kinship Goods. I'm telling you. I was born in Charleston, West Virginia Hospital. The Charleston, whatever.
Hey.
Do you want me to...
Let's take this off mic. What is going on here?
It's because I grew up in South Carolina. Don't mean I don't got some West Virginia roots.
So take that, you pregnant assholes.
You know, they say you can tell if you're born in West Virginia if one of your legs is longer than the other because you're standing on the side of a hill.
That's adorable.
Is it?
It is.
It's just hillbilly humor.
It's
just hillbilly.
Well, of course it is. You can't take that away from them, honey. Mm-hmm. They need it.
You're a mountain girl. You got one leg longer than the other.
Are you mountain girl?
You mountain girl?
Because you got one leg longer than the other.
So what was the big news story for you this week, if it wasn't that? Paul would not watch the
Donald Trump has COVID. Donald Trump has COVID. That was the wildest thing. And I think that was late last night. I got home from working. I finished up work on that sitcom.
You finished that job where they tested, by the way, tested Paul for COVID every 5 minutes. They wore masks and distanced and got through it without having a super spreader event, it sounds like. And Paul did not have a cold last week. It was allergies.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it went away. Then the next day I woke up, I was fine. Mm-hmm. You know.
By the way, if you're ever kind of curious, like you hear something on our show and then you're like, oh, God, you know, Paul wasn't feeling well. I wondered if he got better. If you follow us on our socials on Twitter at stayfhomekins and at Instagram, we will guarantee you update you on everything.
I guarantee. Follow me on Twitter. Follow my granddaughter at Mike's granddaughter 1. Someone else's granddaughter who has a grandfather named Mike.
It's going to be like a new Comedy Bang Bang character.
You know,
you're like workshopping a new Comedy Bang.
Kind of. Drew Tarver, who's hilarious. He's one of the stars of the other ones on Comedy Central, which I hope is coming back.
No,
it was supposed to.
Two.
The other two. Thank you very much.
If y'all have not seen the other two, it's on Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, yeah.
And it was so funny. It was my favorite comedies from last year, actually. And like Molly Shannon's in it, who I love. Yeah. So that was like a fun bonus too. But like Drew Tarver is very funny in it.
Drew is so funny. He and I worked together on Bajillion Dollar Properties. We've done improv a bunch together. He's so funny. But he on the podcast that he does with 3 other guys called Big Grande, the Teacher's Lounge. He started doing Mike Ehrmantraut.
He did.
And it was killing me because I was like, I do that. I've done that impression too, but I've never done it on a show. And so I said, we have to do it together sometime. We still have not done that.
But now you can be the Men's Warehouse guy instead. Maybe we'll find out maybe we'll find out they're cousins.
Hi, Mike. Yeah, they're cousins. Cuckoo, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
It's going to be one less cuckoo tonight because we started it early.
Hail King Cuckoo.
It might be 1 or 2 less cuckoos. Because we started, this is probably the earliest we've ever recorded.
It's like 10 minutes earlier than we usually record. It's not that much earlier.
I don't know about that. Is it?
Wait, what the fuck were we talking about? Drew Tarver, Mike Ehrmantraut.
That he doesn't Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yes, we got that out of the way. We got that established. But before that, the big news of the week.
So
I finished up on the sitcom. Yeah.
Trump having COVID was your big news.
Yes. I finished up that sitcom. It was a lot of fun. It was very challenging. Yesterday was a long day, and it was a physical day, which was kind of a little nerve-wracking about COVID stuff.
Also, by the way, we're in the middle of a heat wave. It was like 102.
Yeah.
You were in the valley.
We were
It was probably 105,
luckily
were you?
inside. We were indoors, but it was still like
You still
it was
even when you're
extremely
inside
warm.
in extreme heat,
Yeah.
you still dehydrate.
But at least you're not under the sun.
No, I agree.
But they have plenty of water around. I mean, they really did a great job. But it was a physical scene, and I was not worried. There was not a lot of contact, but it was a very there was a lot of movement going on in the scene, and I was worried about the droplets. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
But I think
but
we
everyone
did okay.
tested prior.
Everyone tested prior.
they're
I think we
being
did
careful.
okay. I still didn't get my results from yesterday's test.
Ooh.
I must have been positive. They would not have let me work. I mean, negative. God
Jesus.
damn it. I do that every time. I must have been negative, or they would not have let me work.
No, they would have stopped the production and said something.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Here's the thing. Here are my feelings about the Trump COVID news.
Well, let me.
Okay.
So I
yeah,
come
yeah.
home. We're sitting on the couch. I'm exhausted, but it's like one of
and
those
I was
things.
like kind of asleep when you got home because it was so late.
Yes. Yeah.
And I had started watching The Firm and fell asleep.
Firm. But we caught the end of the Firm together,
It blew Paul's mind. I was like,
and I'd seen it before, but I
But you
forgot.
acted
I
like
forgot
you had
everything.
never seen
I
it.
forgot everything.
I have some observations to make about The Firm after we cover the news of the week.
Okay,
So put a pin in that for
All
me.
right, well, we'll come
For
back to
me.
the Firm, and then I can make my
Yeah.
Firm observations. as
Okay.
well. And we got the news that Donald Trump has COVID, and it was look. It is hard not to feel a sense of poetic justice that this guy who has mishandled this thing, downplayed it, so many people died, got sick. It's hard not to say that's funny that he got COVID and he deserves it.
Right, like he put his hand over a flame and it burned his fingers.
Yeah.
That's not poetic justice. That's just somebody being dumb.
You know what, honey? I gotta say, you're absolutely right. It's not poetic justice because this
He
was
did
a
it.
this was a thing.
This
He
was
did
not
it.
a random thing.
He was told all the things not to do.
No, and he deliberately did all the other things. So
Yeah.
there is no there's no karma. There's no
Yeah.
poetry.
It would be poetic justice if he invented COVID.
Right. Like he was
But-
an evil genius.
But there's a little bit in the fact that he said it was no big deal and then he gets it, And obviously
but
the president of the
he didn't
United
say that in private.
the president of the United States, no. But the president of the United States is going to get the best care of anyone in the world, of course. So
Most people recover from.
we'll see what happens.
Here's the thing with me is that to me, obviously I have my emotions and private thoughts. I didn't want to be online like gloating, like because I'll tell you,
I did go online and make some jokes.
I didn't like that, but I told you that.
Yes.
But whatever.
And now you're telling the world.
Well, whatever. I mean,
Can we talk about the Firm yet?
we're real people, okay?
We're real people.
real people with opinions and feelings. And
Yes, and just because you all are pregnant doesn't mean we can't
With our
be
new merch.
human.
With our new
You're pregnant with our new merch.
Here's the thing. First of all, I listened to a podcast this week with Dr. Michael Osterholm.
You threw a little sauce on
I
that.
didn't mean to. It just came out.
I listened to a podcast this week with Dr. Michael
Do y'all
Osterholm.
know Dr. Michael Osterholm?
Well, he is just as charming as he is learned. I could listen to this man hold forth on contagious viruses for days on end.
This is the character. That's the character for Comedy Bang Bang. That's the character.
That is kind of a character
is
that I
a
already
better-
do, that voice.
that just absolutely loves listening to epidemiologists. Who's your favorite epidemiologist?
If you had to pick, I know it's an impossible choice. It's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to doctors of infectious diseases these days.
So his thing this week was like, as far as the pandemic goes, and people get upset that we talk about COVID, but sorry, y'all, we're in a worldwide pandemic.
I didn't
Okay,
realize that they
some
did.
people do, some people don't. Some people kind of like that we're acknowledging reality because there's so much like misinformation and chaos, and this is real.
And we're here to tell you, we know it all.
No, we know. It's not that we know. It's not that we don't know or know.
Yeah.
It's that we're just acknowledging the present.
I know. I worried about that a lot, as you know.
Oh yeah,
about
I know.
talking about that
Y'all,
stuff.
sorry, he would kind of be like.
Sometimes after we were done, I would look at Jenny and say, "Mm-mm."
He's like, I just want an escape. People want an escape.
Yes,
They
but
don't
I
want
kind of feel. But look, we're
escaping.
still locked down here. You know, this is still going on, and it's like I've definitely come around to the idea of just talk. We just talk about what we talk about.
Listen, I think it's fine. I don't think we approach it from some like smug place.
I don't think so. And we're not trying to be
I don't know
journalists.
shit.
Like we're just talking about our feelings.
Yeah, and like what? So anyway, my point is that he said this week.
Is anyone still listening?
Is anyone there? Y'all, there's merch. There's merch.
If you don't like this, please pay money.
For an awesome sweatshirt. Okay, here's the thing. He said that we are not anywhere close to herd immunity.
Right.
And like this is like we're at the beginning. Like he said,
Yes.
maybe we're in inning 4
Right.
of like maybe an extra innings game. And just because, you know, we've been living with it now for a while, we still have to remain vigilant about our safety and continually be mindful without it like ruining our lives.
Yeah.
And
Because it is very easy to feel like this has gone on for such a long time. If I do this, it's not a big deal.
but his point is like before all is said and done, he was saying you will have either had COVID or had experience with a close person with like it is like it will just because you feel like it hasn't touched your life, you might still be in a place where you're saying like, I don't know anyone with COVID. I don't know, you know, it hasn't gotten me and I've been, you know, I went out without a mask or whatever. That's not true for like down the road. So whatever. But so my whole thing with the news about not just the president, it's the president, the first lady, it's Hope Hicks, it's the RNC chairwoman.
Now Tom Tillis.
Now
I
it's
think.
Tom Tillis, the Utah.
Wait, Tom Tillis or Tom Cotton?
Tillis.
It's Tillis?
Tillis.
Which horrible Tom is it?
Tillis, North Carolina. And then the Utah guy, and now they're sort of speculating that the Rose Garden was announcement of the lady judge was a possible super spreading event because there's video online of everyone hugging and kissing, shaking hands, no masks and no distancing.
People are licking their palms. They're touching
I mean,
each
they
other's
kind of
mouths.
are. They kind of are. So my point is like, yes, there is sort of like I don't know if irony. It's not even ironic because he wasn't doing any of the things to not get it.
Yeah. You know what it is?
It's just inevitability.
It's just desserts. That's
It's
what it
inevitable.
is.
I don't even like to say it like that because I don't want to
It's
see
fun.
anybody have it. I don't.
No, you don't want to see anybody have it, but it's like
I don't even want it to
but
exist.
But if someone, well, let's not go that far. There's a lot of great stuff about COVID, but I think that it's okay to say just desserts because he did bring it on himself and and other people as well.
Here's what I would say instead of just desserts. You play with fire.
Oh shit.
You get burned.
Now we can talk about the firm.
You play with fire. You get burned.
You play with fire. You get burned.
Okay, here's my observation about the firm because I've seen this movie before.
Yes,
I
feel like we watched it a couple years ago because I said I'd never
liked
seen it. Oh, I know. I had never seen it, and so we watched it together.
Right.
And I put it out of my mind instantly.
Okay, first of all, I was like texting with friends. Like I just started watching the firm. And then someone was like, "Oh, the backflip," and I was like, "What are they talking about? I don't remember this backflip." There is like a scene at the beginning of The Firm where
It's at the beginning.
Well, he goes.
But by the way, I don't remember it either.
But then I videoed it and sent it to y'all. Did you play? Did you not play?
I don't think I was able to because I think I was in a bad. I was not getting good service.
Oh yeah, you were working.
Yeah.
So okay, so Abby and what was his name? McKean or
Mitch?
Mitch
McDear.
Mitch McDear. So Mitch and Abby McDear are visiting.
That's G. Triplehorn, right?
Gene Triplehorn and Tom Cruise. They are visiting. Those are their character names, Mitch and Abby McDear.
They're not real people.
First of all, there is a scene at the beginning where he's like this hotshot lawyer, okay? I mean, he's like fresh out of law school, okay? And he's getting all these offers, like insane offers. Like it's sort of like this recruitment montage where they're like, we're going to offer you this. We're going to offer you this, you know, because he's like number 2 in his class or something crazy. And
Number 2.
I can't remember. He's something crazy. And he like worked his
That's
ass
so
off.
funny that in a movie, the idea, I don't remember if that's exactly what it is, but the idea of the movie would be, he's number 4 in his law
was
class. Like, why not make him number 1?
There was like a whole scene, though. There was like a whole scene later where like Hal Holbrook was like, you didn't come in.
I forgot how Holbrook was in it.
wait. First of all,
my God.
Also, why would Wilford Brimley be your security? Like, wouldn't you want someone a little bit like younger and more spry?
I think he was 39 when he made that movie.
He might have been. You could. Okay, wait. So they're like going. They're like in Memphis, isn't it? In Memphis.
I thought they were in Louisiana. No?
No, they're like in Tennessee, I think.
Okay.
I think they're in Tennessee. Did I mess up? So anyway, they're
I
walking.
felt like there was a lot of sort of NOLA jazz in the soundtrack.
Because Memphis has a jazz. Memphis is.
You know what? That's very true. And I apologize. Memphis, I retract it.
It's like, you know, like Graceland and, you know, barbecue and stuff.
Okay.
Y'all remember? Okay, so anyway, so this kid is like a street performer. And then he does all of these like gymnastics. Maybe I fell asleep at the beginning. Like if he was like a college gymnast, Mitch McDear, the character, I don't know. Because there's more other scenes where he becomes gymnastical.
Yes.
So there's a street performer, and this like 10-year-old kid does all of these, like, what are those called? Like
handsprings,
like flips, or you know, whatever those are called.
Round-offs,
or but like over and over and over.
Star
himself.
jumps.
So he does like 10 in a row, and they're like walking with this other couple like post dinner and like asking questions like, what's it like to live in Memphis? So how long have you worked at the firm? You know, like whatever.
Everyone cheers when they hear the name.
And then Tom Cruise's character spontaneously does just as many flips with the kid.
What? I know that I've seen this movie. How would I forget that? Have I not seen this?
I videoed it. I'll send it to you. We can put it on our Instagram.
We'll put it on the Instagram.
Because I have it on my video. Okay, and so, but like, you know how it is when like you like in a movie they'll like show the actor and then the edit is like
the
kid, and then it's like the stuntman that does. It was like that.
They shoot it from a mile away.
But also like it never figures in again, except when he's running from the bad guys and he does like the pommel horse routine in the warehouse.
Yes, he does some gymkata. Yeah.
So then, that's not my issue with the firm.
Folks, you thought that was her issue with the firm, but guess what? She's just getting started.
Fine. Maybe he did have a gymnastics career prior to law school. Fine. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief over that. Oh, wait, I didn't talk about the other problematic scene before the main problem. I have a very main problematic
scene.
So he's being courted by all these firms,
but he wants to work at the firm.
So the firm comes in, and they are like, are you a family man? And what kind of stability do you have in your life? We honor, stability, and all this stuff. And he's like, okay, but like, what's the offer? And then they're like, we're going to buy you a Mercedes Benz and get you an interest-free loan mortgage or whatever and all stuff. And then they hand him this envelope, and they're like, this is your offer. What would you offer? And then they go into this scene where he's like, am I supposed to open this right now? And then they're like, shh, I don't know. You open it. But if I were you and I was number 3 in my class, if I were you and I was number 3 in my class, I would know what the offer is and what I'm worth. And then he gets up and starts litigating them. Like a courtroom, like a trial lawyer, like, where were you on the night that the amount of money I was allowed to... I'm making up the dialogue. Okay.
Wait.
That was not the exact dialogue.
No. But he's pretending like it's a trial?
Yes. Sir, are you the managing director of the firm? Why, yes, I am. Then, where were you on the night that the amount of money I was offered was approved or whatever? Like, I'm making this.
It's so hard to understand what actually happened.
I'm giving you like kind of like stand-in dialogue because I don't.
I get that, but was it like?
It was like stand-in dialogue.
Was he acting like he was in a trial,
yes.
or was it just like a subtle thing where you realize, oh, he's doing lawyer stuff on them?
No.
Okay, don't get mad at me. I'm trying to understand.
It's like he's in To Kill a It's like, were you moving a shiffer robe when they gave you my bonus?
Now you're going to say, well, not really. That was stand-in dialogue. I understand.
Fine, they didn't.
I understand he didn't say stuff.
You bust up that shiffer robe and you're going to offer me $50,000?
So wait, what? This is your main problem?
No, that's not my main.
That's not the main? Jesus. What is? I don't even know how we got there. What is your main?
Because
issue?
it had to be litigated in the podcast.
Okay.
His litigation needed to be litigated.
Understood.
What? Like, how did that pass the smell test in the rewrite room? Is my point. My main problem is he goes on this trip to the Cayman Islands with Gene Hackman, and they set up this honey trap. Was that what you call it? When there's like a
honey trap, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a goddamn Victoria's Secret supermodel on the beach, and he's all like, "I'm good. I don't turn my head on my wife, Jean Troublehorn," and they're like, "Oh God, we're gonna have to pull out the big guns." I think the Victoria's Secret model.
Wait, who's doing this to him? The firm?
The firm.
So the firm is trying to do what?
They're trying to get collateral on him, like Keith Raniere.
Oh no!
Like the VAT, like Nexium. Instead of just saying like you have to provide me with collateral, they staged it collateral.
But why?
Because then they own him.
Why can't they just hire people?
Because they're doing. Because they
do shifty shit, and
they represent the mafia, and they're doing
Paul Sorvino and that other guy,
tax evasion, and all of this stuff.
This good, Mitch McDaniel.
By the way, like the firm is like 3 different movies.
I'm gonna fucking kill that kid if I ever see him.
There's like 8 different. There's like fried green tomatoes happening. There's
an
like,
action movie.
Yeah, there's like yeah. Okay, so they like all of a sudden he doesn't get suspicious as some Victoria's Secret model on a beach somewhere who needs his help. Wants to give him a free blowjob or whatever, and then
free blowjob.
So now they have these pictures on him, and he knows like he cheated on Abby. I feel like I'm spoiling the firm for people. So he cheated on Abby, and then he's like not going to tell her. He doesn't think anybody knows. And then the FBI, like they're coming in from all corners, right? And then they finally are like, you wouldn't want your pretty little wife to see these. And then they whip out like the Victoria's Secret stuff.
Even though he didn't really do anything.
No, they did it all.
Tom Cruise fucked the Victoria's Secret model. He got the free blowjob.
He got it all. Okay? He got it all.
Why would he do this?
Because you come along a nameless faceless, Victoria's Secret face model, And then and you
Model
know,
face?
and she's like, I'm not going to tell anyone. and then so
Wait, you're saying this is understandable? I just need to know this for the future.
it's fine because it's never going to happen.
You don't know.
I don't know, but I'm going to roll the dice on that one.
What if a firm approaches me?
So now he's in a position where he's like, I'm being blackmailed by the firm, so I got to fess up to Jean Triplehorn that I did this.
Yeah.
Okay. So he takes her out to dinner, and he's like, I did this.
What? That's, first of all, that's insane.
Thank you.
That's demented.
But they are bugged at home, fine. But they could have had the conversation on the sidewalk, away from people.
Yeah.
And then
turned a radio up.
And then she's clear. They already did that scene before that.
I apologize.
And like she's clearly devastated
Sure.
because she's like this, very loyal, true blue person. And then she goes, "Why did you tell me?" Because that would be the next question. Like, why didn't you live with it instead of her? You know what I mean? Because like now he's hurting her.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, the firm's blackmailing me, and I had to tell you, he just goes, because I needed you to know. I wanted you to know. Which is unacceptable.
That's fucked up.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
And then, but here's the worst part of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
She sticks her neck out to save his skin without him even asking or knowing.
Yeah. She goes and fucks Gene Hackman.
They don't really. She seduces him and gets what she needs from him to save him.
Here's what I remember. She drugs him.
Yeah.
He seems like he's passed out from the drug, but then he's back to life. And he's like, I'm alive. You thought you drugged Gene Hackman. You are wrong.
My point is like...
But then she stays the night in his room.
Yeah, because she's kind of pretending like...
Yeah.
This happened between us. And he's like, I know
But then
everything.
he wakes up from his drug stupor. He's like, I know what you did.
But it was like 8 hours later. It's fine.
But he's like still in bed. And she's like trying to sneak out of the room or something. And he's like, hey, you took that key from me. Like, what was this drug? Did it just paralyze him? But he was completely awake the whole time?
My point is, he's our hero. Like, Tom Cruise is our hero.
Yeah.
And we're rooting for him.
Yeah.
So why did they make that scene not be like, I fucked up.
Right.
I'm being blackmailed. I would never tell you otherwise because it's hurtful.
Maybe it was. Here's the only thing I can figure is that, but it needs to be expressed in some way, that he would do it so she would have deniability. She wouldn't know. So that if they did try something, so then the firm wouldn't know.
Like that
the
she
firm
would
wouldn't
be
know that she
less
knew.
in danger.
The firm thought, yes. So the firm thought they still had something on him. She already knows. So even if somebody from the firm shows up and says like, here's the pictures of Tom and the Victoria's Secret model.
And she acts
she'd
upset.
She'd be like, yawn.
As opposed to like, yeah, I know you're trying to blackmail him.
Yeah. It still doesn't make sense though.
Here's the thing. Tom Cruise is a good actor. He could have done all that with his face. He was not directed that way. I'm telling you.
True. The thing is, like with a lot of movies, those like your mainstream box office blockbuster movies,
yes,
they don't hold up very well. They're always very much of their time.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I think that was the case with this, and also
Yes.
like a bunch of dudes must have been writing it.
Yeah.
I say that, and I don't know. There could have been a woman writing it.
Here's my favorite part.
Okay.
Here's my two favorite parts.
Okay.
Number one.
So you don't have any problem-y parts. You're saying these are your favorite parts.
Listen to this. You be the judge. These are the parts that I enjoyed.
Okay.
First of all, Tom Cruise is on the run at one point, and I guess it's winter because both he and the guy who's chasing after him are both wearing overcoats, which seemed so miserable to me to be running in an overcoat. Yeah. Oh,
like shed it.
You would be so sweaty,
and also it's dragging you down. It's like
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So the guy chasing after him is this guy Tobin Bell, who is a tall actor, especially next to Tom Cruise, right? So he's got long blonde hair, and he's chasing Tom Cruise. Chase goes on. Wilford Brimley shows up. Wilford Brimley, for some reason, is parked on the street, sees Tobin Bell. He sees Tom Cruise run into this building, sees Tobin Bell chase up, not sure where Tom Cruise goes. He goes, honk, honk, hey, he went in there. And then, for some reason, rather than just get out of the fucking car and walk across the street, he fucking throws it a drive, does a U-E, and then parks on the other side of the street. Like, why do we have to see all that? We could have pieced it together. Like, oh, he got out of the car where it was and walked across the street to the building. So they go in. They're looking for Tom Cruise. They corner him in this room. Tom Cruise goes in this room. They're closing in on him. We see them walking in the hallways. First, Tobin Bell gets in there. Tom Cruise, using his hidden gymnastics background, is up on some bars, some pipes in this thing. Tobin Bell sees the briefcase that Tom Cruise has been carrying and picks up the briefcase. Wilford Brimley goes into the room next door where there is like a glass partition.
It's like a frosted glass.
Yes.
Like
yes, thank you. Frosted glass. So he sees the shadow, the silhouette
of a man.
In an overcoat holding a briefcase. This man also 7 feet tall. It has long hair. He just shoots and kills his friend, right? Then Tom Cruise sweats on Wilford Brimley. Wilford Brimley realizes up in the pipes. Tom Cruise jumps down on him, kicks the shit out of Wilford Brimley.
That was like a little elder abuse.
Oh, it was uncomfortable.
A little bit elder abuse.
They're like 5 years apart from each other. So that really made me laugh. That he just
shot.
Yeah, he saw briefcase, briefcase, bang.
And they're like so different in stature and shape and everything.
The other part is David Strathairn is in this movie playing Tom Cruise's brother. He's like an ex-con and he's about to escape on a boat.
Yeah, he's going on like a boat plane, like one of those planes.
Yeah,
boats.
seaplane.
Yeah.
Holly Hunter is some sassy, brassy lady that works for Tom Cruise.
No, she worked for Gary Busey.
Who's a private investigator?
Yes, but he got killed getting wrapped up in this bullshit.
Great. So,
and he was in jail with Strathairn.
Oh, okay.
That's how Tom Cruise went to him because he was the only safe bet.
Right.
To get out of this mess.
So Holly Hunter is helping David Strathairn. This is towards the end of the movie, helping him get away finally.
Yeah.
And they're standing on this dock by the seaplane, and they're like saying goodbye. And then David Strathairn says, "I love your crooked little mouth."
And
then Holly Hunter says,
"It's not my best feature."
And then David Strathairn goes, "What is?" And it was gross.
But to be fair, kind of wanted the movie of that, number one.
I would have loved to have seen What's Their Life.
So, but number two, it was gross because he said, "What is?" And then they held the camera on him. Another one bites the dust.
Shit, honey, you scared the hell out of me. Janie has her phone face up, so she's seeing.
It's a big news week. Kellyanne Conway just tested positive.
Oh, Kellyanne Conway, no!
I'm telling you, I don't find joy in it.
I understand.
It's like
here's the thing.
When they go low and when they test positive, we go high.
When they test positive, we don't go negative.
That's a good one.
Thank you, honey. Here's the thing. I don't take joy in it. It is funny, though.
Because you're a comedian and you're trained to you're trained to look for these sort of
I look at things a little
these balances.
Skewed. I have a warped view of the world.
I'm just saying it's you know what it really is to be fair. It's sad. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, well, yes.
Because
if you really want
so
to get down
many
to it,
people
yes.
have died in
Yes.
this country of COVID.
Absolutely.
Because of the politicization and the science denying.
Yeah.
And the economy, this and that over, whatever.
Economy above all. Yeah.
Whatever. That it is, we don't want to lose sight of the real human toll and pain of this.
No, we don't. We don't. I mean, here's the thing. The situation that we're in is absolutely testing our sort of gallows humor, whistling past the graveyard capabilities.
Yes.
It's really maxing it out because you have to find...
Well, you
have to find some humor in how horrible all this is because it's so fucking horrible.
The humor is in the fact that, like, you play with fire, you get burned.
I heard that somewhere.
I don't know. The humor is in that we're all, like, stuck in this divided country, and we're going to have to claw our way out of it and find ways to heal and unify and fucking get healthy as a country.
Yeah, things got to get better, and we have to be better.
And maybe there's a chapter closing. I don't know for sure because we still have this election looming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what party you are or whatever. You have to see at this point the toxicity of this approach to a crisis.
Yeah, I know, but that's like that feels like such a small segment of the population that is able to do that. To say, I thought this way before, and now I'm looking at the mounted evidence of where this has led us, and I got to say, there's got to be a better way. But hopefully, there are some people like that.
So, what was your take on the whole, like, there was in the news, like, the Kellyanne Conway, like, her daughter was, like, going online and, like, saying, like...
Yeah, I wasn't following that closely, but she was kind of making fun of her and her and her dad.
Yeah, but she's
George Conway.
She's a minor. She's, like, a teenager. She wasn't just making fun of them. She was claiming that she was, like, abused and wanted to be emancipated.
Oh, I did not hear that. What I had heard was just like a few things that probably led up to that was her like sort of taking them down on Twitter, but I did not hear like that personal of a thing.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about this family. I'd never even heard of these people, to be honest, until the Trump administration.
They were forced into our lives.
Yeah. Like I don't really, I'm sure they were like DC players, whatever. I did not feel comfortable with that whole thing.
Yeah.
Because number one, she's a minor, and number two, we don't know the situation. Like, she might have certain mental health issues, and her parents also might have. They might not be a healthy family. They might have like real problems and there's children involved because there's younger children in that family.
Right.
So I guess you didn't follow it, but I was curious about it because you know how like everything, you don't know what's real online, if you're being catfished or if there's deep fakes or fake news or misinformation
deep
or chaos,
fish, cat fakes,
chaos, whatever. Like sometimes you're looking at this stuff online and it doesn't feel real, and you don't really think there's a real person behind this.
Yeah,
there's a real person that could be suffering.
We absolutely get numb to that stuff all the time. And it's also it's the nature of consuming that stuff in that way is that it's just words that you're reading, you know, and you're assigning a personality to someone, you're assigning motives to someone, you're doing all this because someone is saying something that you disagree with or you find outrageous or whatever, and we're at such a remove with that stuff that it was always destined to lead us where we are now, with this kind of shit. But I don't know, like I every once in a while I have a moment where either I break through to someone or someone breaks through to me, and it's kind of nice, but it's rare, you know? And I just don't know. I don't know where we all end up. You know, we watched that Social Dilemma.
I watched it. I didn't agree with some of it.
I watched it on my
you
phone.
hated it.
Here's the thing.
Well, it wasn't done. It was done a little bit.
Yeah, it was the way it was produced.
Corny.
It was like the skits, like kind of lost me, and it made me tune out. And I also felt like there wasn't, from the way people talked about it, I thought, oh my God, there's going to be like crazy revelations in this.
I'd already read the book about how they design stuff to be addictive. I already knew all that.
But it's like, yeah, exactly. I felt like, no, I know.
I think it was more for kids.
Oh, kids.
Here's what I think about it. Here's what makes me mad about it, because I think it is important to expose, like, hey, they're designing these things to addict you, blah, blah, blah. But so is freaking cereal commercials. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to make you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
But what they don't really sort of, like, to me, what was missing in the Social Dilemma, and I do believe there should be oversight of these companies. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Like, I have other opinions on that.
Yeah.
And about First Amendment and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And media companies versus it just being a conduit, a bulletin board, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah. But definitely,
and I'm not an expert on it either. I just have opinions because I am intrigued by it. And
Absolutely.
I think we're in a place with it where it's new enough that we don't know yet where it's going to land.
Yeah.
So that's why I have an opinion about it. But what I felt like was missing in Social Dilemma personally was that they were like, just do what you can, like put the phone in the other room and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But what they really need to stress is and they only said it like once or something, like be skeptical, like have your own ideas, develop a sense of self so that you are not in a position to be radicalized or manipulated.
Yeah.
And that goes for advertisement too.
Yeah.
Like just ethically, like steal yourself, like find your own, like read everything, be skeptical of everything. You know, yes, have boundaries with yourself and your technology. I am a hypocrite because I have a bit of an addiction.
It goes back and forth. I mean, we instituted a no phones in the bedroom policy that we sometimes bend, but I don't think that we break.
No, I broke it after this pandemic. Because I was worried my mom was going to like text me in the middle of the night and be like, I have a fever. Or, you know what I'm saying?
But I think that you still sometimes put the phone in the other room. It's just, it's undeniable. I think we can say that you just sleep better.
Oh, totally.
You know?
I just felt like the Social Dilemma didn't have that other half about like your own personal responsibility with it as opposed to
like this
we
stuff,
are powerless to this.
Yes, it's not magic.
We're so powerless.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then one guy was like, I've just found a way to penetrate into somebody's deeper into their brainstem, and I'm like, come on, dude. What are you, like the CIA?
Wait, was this one of the skits? Or was this was a real person
No, this was
talking?
like a designer at one of these companies. It's like, I can't sleep at night because I figured out how to penetrate deeper into people's brainstems.
I was working in the lab late one night.
Like they had created meth and then like gave it to 5-year-olds.
Right.
I think grapple with. They believe that is the case. You know.
Wait, what? They gave 5-year-olds meth?
They believe the designers of this addictive technology feel
they're saying it's akin to that.
They don't say that. That's the way they come off.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I get you.
That they're like that they believe that they can't live with themselves now because they've like made this like, you know, like Breaking Bad and they gave it to children or something. You know what I'm saying? Like wrapped it in chocolate or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know that may be the case, but like, yeah, drugs are addictive too. Alcohol is addictive too. But like, you know, it's not the fault of the existence of alcohol that you have the addiction to, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, some people are more prone to addiction than other people. Some people are more, there's circumstantial things that can happen, but
it's
as far as the internet...
They oversimplified it, in my opinion. That's my problem with it.
Absolutely,
I think I'm now just realizing...
That makes sense to me.
I think I should have just said they oversimplified it.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we all know that it's addictive and that it's designed that way.
Anything's addictive. I mean,
and that
so
people
many
are
things
fucking
are addictive.
listening to us all the time.
Relationships are addictive. Toxic relation. You know, this is that. Whatever.
Think of a thing. Watching The Firm.
Television. Listen, I can't wait till I get mansplained online about how I wasn't enough of a bitch about Trump getting COVID.
I got it.
That I shouldn't care because he killed people. And blah,
Do you know?
blah, blah.
I got.
You know what? I want to hear what you want to say.
Yeah,
I just want to give a little warning to the mansplainers.
Ooh.
I don't take on your opinions when you give them to me. Okay.
That's a good thing.
Tell me what you
Just
got.
so you know, you can say some dumb shit to me. I will not take it as my own opinion.
I just won't.
I think that's a good warning.
No, I just won't. And I know y'all want me to so bad. But here's the problem. You're tweeting at me and you're a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
If you were someone in my life sitting across from me face to face and we were having a real deep and meaningful conversation.
That's what we're doing.
Like you and I are
exciting, yeah.
What we're doing?
No, I'm saying this is about me.
What we're doing?
Yes.
What you and I do?
Yeah, what we're doing right now.
I can't hear you. I don't have earbuds in.
You don't have earbuds in. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what you're saying.
I'm sorry. We got to figure out a system where we can both listen.
I just want to know what you were saying. You got someone did someone mansplain at you?
What happened to me was I tweeted last night that it is wishing harm or illness or death on someone is small and petty, which I do believe. However, of course I'm guilty of it. We all are. You know what I mean? We all have those thoughts.
We're human beings.
Yes.
Of course we have those thoughts.
Yes. So it being small and petty doesn't make... I'm not saying I don't do it. Of course I do it. And then I said...
Probably the Dalai Lama does it.
And I said... that motherfucker. Probably wishes death on Keith Raniere.
Well,
he got me. And then I said, the second part of the tweet was, but it is objectively funny that Donald Trump got COVID because he downplayed it, mishandled it, and thousands of people died. There's no way around that it is funny.
That he was a moron about it.
Yes, that he got COVID. There's no way around that being funny.
That he invited it, yeah.
So I heard from people that were saying, this is disgusting, fuck you, but also people saying, well, I am petty and small then because he's a horrible person who basically saying, like, they're saying the second part of my tweet as if I didn't say it.
Here's the thing.
To justify the first part, and it's like, don't do your speech.
But your tweet wasn't even about any of that. In my opinion, is how I interpret it. Is that you're saying through the lens of a comedian.
Yeah.
You see somebody say, this thing doesn't exist. It's going to go away.
It's absolutely.
And then it comes.
Yes. That's absolutely comedy.
That's
absolutely
like
comedy.
what you're basically.
This isn't a big deal. And then they get it. That's comedy. But here's the thing. And then people are saying, well, what if you get it? Is it funny then? And it's like,
I don't want anyone to get it.
It will be kind of a little bit because I tweeted that. I can't deny that.
Well.
But, however, if I get it, it's not because I was a dumbass who pretended it wasn't a thing.
Anyone can get it.
Anyone can get it.
Yeah.
It'll be more because of Donald Trump and how he handled this whole crisis.
Well, before this happened, there were some little schadenfreude things that were going around on the net.
Yes.
Around on the net anyway about that kind of thing. Like a pastor in, Iowa told his congregation not to wear masks. Or and had church indoors anyway. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, and now he's on a ventilator, with COVID or whatever. Yeah. And then it's like, and then you would see these things of like, I told my wife not to wear a mask and this Uber driver got it. And then he comes out and says, take it seriously. I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. But like, it was sort of like, and honestly, you know what? That's less funny to me because those are the people that were looking toward leadership for information.
Well, yeah.
And was unable to get it. Donald Trump had all the information.
Yes, I know.
And we heard it from the Bob Woodward tapes.
Exactly.
So, like, it's not even the same as those stories, really.
No, it's not. It's not.
There's no comparison because he had access to every piece of information.
That's
he had a
right.
team of people.
That's
he
right.
had the top epidemiologists.
Yeah.
In the entire country. He even told Bob Woodward, this thing is deadlier than the flu and more contagious.
Can I tell you, this is why it's so funny that it's undeniably funny.
I can't make it funny.
No, here's why. Here's why.
I know what you mean.
Because
when
he
you
did
say
it,
funny, I know what you mean. It's
he
different.
did have all that information. Well, maybe not funny. He did have all that information. This is why it's just desserts. He did have all that information. He fucking kept it to himself. Not only did he keep it to himself, he went out and demonized mask wearing.
Mm-hmm.
He made fun of Joe Biden on that debate for wearing a mask.
I know.
And then he gets it. Like that's
He had it. I'm sure he had it at that debate.
That is just desserts, my
I'm
honey.
sure he had it at the debate.
I'm sure he had it
because
at the
they're saying
debate.
that the Rose Garden was the super spreading event, and that was on Saturday, and the debate was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there was even like a blurb about how the Trump family were given masks at the debate, and they refused them,
Yeah.
and the Biden family wore masks.
Yeah.
So it's like they decided to make this a political cudgel.
Yeah.
And
Which it did not need to be.
But it was like such a dangerous political cudgel.
Yeah.
Because people's health
It's a terrible
and lives
idea.
and livelihoods.
It's a terrible idea. We were talking
No, it's
with...
almost, I mean, it's an evil idea.
Yeah, it is. Well,
It
that's
was
the
an
thing.
evil
That's
idea.
the thing, is because he knew, even if I get COVID, I have access to the absolute best health care that anyone could ever get. So I don't care. I
But
don't
it's
care
not
what
funny
happens
to
to
the
other
people
people.
who have lost their
No,
loved
I'm not. I'm
ones.
not saying it's funny anymore.
I know.
That's not the part. That's not the part I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know what you mean.
I'm saying that he absolutely did not care what happened to anyone except himself, and knew that he would be okay no matter what. We were talking with our friend David Reese from Election Profit Makers in our backyard not long ago about how Trump could have absolutely owned this whole thing early on, and he could have gone down in history.
I know. That's what my boyfriend, my fake boyfriend, Dan Abrams
Yeah, it's
says.
true.
I
But
listen to Dan Abrams.
If he
all
had
the time.
used all his Trump bullshit to someone's advantage for a change instead of just, and it would have worked out great for him too.
But that's
If he had said, "Listen, this thing is messing up all these parts of the world. When it comes here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this better than any country
Yeah, he
has
just
ever
had to
done
be
it."
Coach Taylor
If
about
he
it.
just exploited all the rah-rah
He could have been Coach
jingoistic
Taylor,
people,
yeah.
it would have been.
Well, look at Giuliani after 9/11. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
But don't look any further.
When you need a leader in a crisis, you overlook partisanship and you say, you know what? He did a good job. He saved lives.
Well, people want someone to look to, but it's also you want to manage something in a way that it gets it done to the maximum way possible. Like he could have FDR'd this shit and said, "We're going to shut everything down.
I'm going to pay you to stay home.
Everybody wear a mask. I'm going to pay you to stay home. It's all going to be fine. We got to do it for this amount of time.
And we're
for
gonna,
this amount of time,
we're
and then
gonna
we'll
get
see
the
where we are."
numbers down, and we're gonna,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there and reopen
Yeah.
partially.
Yeah.
Although other countries who have managed it, they're getting another wave.
Yeah.
but they were able to have a reprieve in the middle.
Yes.
they've
Yes,
lost
yes,
less
yes.
overall.
Yeah.
But I had this conversation with my friend Catherine. Though it's the scorpion and the frog.
My friend too.
Our friend. Well, and she's
Jesus.
like she's my friend, but she's our friend. I share her with you. She's like my smarty pants friend. Anyway, so the problem is that it is not in his nature.
No, he can't do it. He can't do it.
It's the scorpion and the frog.
He can't do
Right?
it.
Scorpion and the frog?
Scorpion and the frog. It is my nature.
It's in my nature.
He's the scorpion.
And guess what? We're the fucking frog.
Yeah, but except I didn't ask him for a ride across the river. Why would I ever? Okay, we got to wrap it up. Do you have recommendations?
Oh.
We recommended our merch.
I recommended our merch at kinshipgoods.com.
Of course, the firm.
I did recommend the Maren Morris song about Black
That's true, you
the
did.
new song about Black Lives Matter. I can't remember. Did I have you recommend? Because I recommend leaving the alerts on for the news because it's going to change everything.
Dang, what can I recommend?
It's gonna. Oh, I know. I think okay. So I recommended the Morally Indefensible podcast. Oh, I know what I wanted to recommend. We mentioned it briefly, but I recommend the Morally Indefensible podcast. And now on Hulu, the docuseries is out called something else. Wilderness of Error. It's called A Wilderness of Error.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, it goes with the Morally Indefensible podcast. So I've been watching that, and I think the last one just came out maybe. So I got to catch up.
All right.
Then last week we binged that crazy murder show on HBO called The Murders at White House Farm.
Oh, yes.
And it was like this true crime murder in England in the 80s. And OMG.
Oh, my God.
Y'all. This thing was chilling. Listen, I know we pay for a lot of streaming stuff. We haven't left our house since March. This is all we have. And we're binging.
We're binging, baby. We're a binge family. We're binging and we are not purging. We're retaining all of the information of the shows.
I will say this. I thought the guy who there's scary people in it, like sociopathic people.
Yeah.
And I thought the portrayal was very real and chilling.
Yeah, it was really well done, and really good acting.
Yes.
I want to recommend my friend Tawny Newsom's album.
My friend too.
I share her with you. My friend Tawny Newsom has a new album that's coming out with Bethany Thomas, who's a longtime collaborator of hers. It's an album called Material Flats. Tawny, in addition to being an excellent actor and improviser and podcast host, is also an extremely talented musician. I've seen Tawny and Bethany sing before together. I'm excited for this album to come out. I believe it comes out, was it October 8th? It's coming out October 9th. It's coming out very soon. You can pre-order it now on Bandcamp. It's Tawny Newsom and Bethany Thomas, Material Flats.
Cool.
Please do check that out. I can't wait for it.
All right, guys. Well, bookmark kinshipgoods.com so you can keep an eye out for when our merch gets dropped on the site.
And we'll post it on our socials and stuff like that.
And, guys, take care of yourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it, and we really feel connected to everybody that is going through this. This is such a strange and continues to be such a strange and weird and terrible and scary time.
It really is. So much uncertainty, y'all.
Yeah,
so much uncertainty.
We got to stick together.
And thanks for your emails that you send to stayfhomekins@gmail.com. I really enjoy them. So does Paul, because I will read them to Paul. He doesn't.
We'll light a fire, and
he doesn't
I'll
read them,
settle
and
in
then
with my knitting.
And then I'll sit down and I'll be like, "We got 3 emails."
I'll say, "Mother, please read me the emails."
You can find us on Twitter at stayfhomekins, and on Instagram at stayfhomekins. And until then,
stay safe, stay sane, and stay home.
Definitely stay sane.
I mean, if you can.